soundboard on my phone, motherfucker. That's right. We're back at it again. The Ice Cream Social Sunday Ice Cream Social with one of your hosts, Full Custom Hot Dog Baby.
All right, guy. That was his baby noise. It was he just said baby instead of pushing the button.
Shut up.
Full disclosure here, guys. Hot Dog is without his special effects or his
full
sound
disclosure.
Effects.
It's unprofessional to do that without introducing yourself first.
I am Yucky.
Hi, I'm Gable.
Those are good intro, boys. I'm really proud. You guys are stepping it up, and I'm stepping it down. The soundboard's down, so I'm going to be at least like 85% less on point today.
Just not going to be as funny.
I got this. I don't know. I used to do a lot of these sounds as a kid, so
right.
I think we can figure this out.
Yeah, we expect you to mouth all of them now. So I hope you're
do the baby noise.
This might even be a step up. Yeah, this might be better. It's been a long time. When was our last show? Christmas of 2020.
I think was it our Black Christmas review?
I think so.
We did all the Black Christmases.
That's right. We've got Finatra in the chat. Shigama, my dude. Always good to see.
What up, Finn?
Day Raymond.
So, it's been a crazy, was that 3 weeks? Almost 4 weeks. Jesus Christ.
Yeah, where were you?
I was injured.
Died.
I'm still injured, but I get to go back to work tomorrow. So,
yeah, work never stops, not even if you're injured.
That's a crazy thing, right?
Yeah.
Maybe those leftoids are onto something with this whole capitalism bad thing, huh, guys?
Oh, you're so paid for not working, right?
I can't. I'm not that crippled.
Like when I see like an Indiana Jones 6 poster, that's when I'm like, we have to stop capitalism.
Yeah.
No.
Yeah. Any other time, I'm sure, it's the best option. Like I went to
see.
What's that?
No, you go. Whatever you're gonna say is way better than what I'm gonna say.
Probably not. I was just gonna say I went to. I strolled down a toy aisle. I'm not a toy collector, but sometimes I'm a looky-loo. I just like to look. And I don't know. There's just tons of old nostalgic toys. Like Todd McFarlane is putting out like new superpowers that kind of look like the 1984 superpowers. And they're just like, it's just stocked. So it's just like, man, did this guy like miss out on something or... Like, that's bad capitalism when it's like, let's take this idea from 1984 that no one fucking remembers except for 50-year-olds. And then let's put like
nostalgic shopping. That's huge, right? I mean, Target has an entire section between the toys and like the electronics aisles, if you guys ever go there, of nothing but like 70s and 80s nostalgic kind of toys and properties that aren't for kids. They're for adults. I just find that it's weird because it's definitely priced for adults because it's like, oh, here, you want this King Kong action figure? It's like, yes, I do. Okay, $50.
Yeah, why are toys so expensive? That's one of the things I think is weird about the toy hop. Yeah, but it's like these are for children, and they should.
They're not. They're clearly not. They're the toys that I had growing up. They're not for children at all. That's what's so weird about it.
I mean, I know my kid definitely wants a Predator 2 action figure.
Yeah, his favorite movie from when he was a kid.
Yeah, it's that is like they're even doing that shit, right? Like I've seen like the Terminator 2 Judgment Day toys from when we were kids.
Yeah.
Like the exact same packaging. It's just like a little bigger and $30 fucking.
I saw those with the I guess they redid the Aliens toys.
Mm-hmm.
Like I don't know who made them, but we were walking through Walmart and I was like, wait, Aliens? I was like, is there a new cartoon, a new show? And I look at it, it's like the retro packaging and everything.
The ones from like when we were kids. Right?
Yeah,
with the snake alien, which was cool.
The bull alien.
The rhino.
And I'm like, why do these exist? And they're in the kids aisle, right? And they're right next to like the Pokemon and the Bakugan. And I'm like, yeah, that's definitely a kid is going to go from fucking Beyblade to Alien action figures. That's
Yeah,
just,
you
know,
start
it's
them off
natural.
light, and then you move on to the harder shit. It's like
Yeah.
anything else, you know.
It's so the father and son can be in the same aisle, being like, oh, like what?
Oh,
They have my
you end up having that
guys.
conversation because my kid goes, "What is Alien?" He knows what Alien. He's like, "Is that like a cartoon? Because it looks like a cartoon." And I was like, "Well, no, not really. It's
Just
kind of a
wait, son.
movie." He's like, "Oh, can we watch it?" Maybe when you're older. Oh, why is there a toy, Dad? I don't know.
One of the reasons I brought that up, not only the superpowers being stocked, but I did see someone tweeted out in a picture of that was taken at an Ollie's, the discount store,
I love
of
Ollie's.
tons of this like Masters of the Universe crap.
Yes,
And my Ollie's is the exact same way.
but
So
ours is like the new He-Man though. Like
really,
the Kevin Smith He-Man, like all those action figures. Our Ollie's is like, I don't know, maybe 2 pallets worth of those kind of toys, and
see, we have
maybe
a lot
1
of
or
the
2 retro.
vehicles, like the original vehicles.
Yeah, we have
Are
some
a
of
lot
those
at
as
our
well.
Ollie's.
Yeah, but a lot of it's like Kevin Smith stuff that was a complete dud. So
Yeah, but our little like rant about capitalism just made me think of that. Of like, they're making toys for adults that aren't buying them because either. Well, I think they're trying to have their cake and eat it too. Like the superpowers packaging looks like it's from 1984, but then it's the Batman Who Laughs or whatever, right?
yeah, and you're like, okay, and they're like, were those the little 4-inch action figures? Like they're not like
Yeah.
the 6-inch like I remember, but like they're all like these little 4-inch guys, the same ones that they did with the comic book. Now I think they're in the stores right now. You get a Flash comic, and then you get like a little 4-inch Flash figure. And my son, who's like the prime age for this, by the way, he's like, those are too small. And I'm like, yeah, it's fair. Okay, that's fair.
Yeah, those are like little mini statues or something.
Yeah, and
So,
I'm like, they're like, yeah, but I'm like, but to be fair, he has like these little like 1-inch tall Pokemon guys, and he plays the crap out of those. So I'm going, is it the fact that he's 4 inches tall, or is it because you don't give a crap about the Flash? You're like,
well, I just
what does
think
the
it's
Flash do? Run.
well, like they're running into the same problem. Okay, like this is what I saw when I was in that aisle. I saw the exact same problem. They're running into the same problem that we had when we were kids. You look at the freaking shelf and it's like Buzz Off, Spout Snout,
Yeah.
some random, and there's no He-Man, there's no Skeletor, there's no. I'm like, didn't we learn this already? That like not everybody. I mean, yeah, just not everybody has a goddamn He-Man or Skeletor, so you don't like once you get these waves that are just random characters, it's like, why is this? Hey,
Yeah.
like,
Oh,
why
welcome
is
back,
this?
hot dog.
Colonel Mork says peg warmers. Yeah, dude.
Yeah,
They-
I need more than warmers, man. Those things are like almost like they just stay there because those are the things you find in Ollie's, like in like 3 months, from the main stores.
And not to like, okay, everybody has their own Green Lantern, right?
Mhm.
Hal Jordan would be the most popular, the one that they made the movie out of. Jon Stewart is more popular from the animated series,
Sure.
maybe for kids. But the superpowers that Todd McFarlane put out is the Jon Stewart. And I'm talking my Walmart probably had 30 Jon Stewart.
Oh.
I mean, it's just insane. It's like, wow, like people do not want this.
Yeah,
I'm not saying why, I'm not saying whatever.
they just can't move the product.
Yeah, they're just taking bets on weird like I don't know. Remember when I don't know if it was the last Star Wars that came out, but there was a big like to do about the whole female characters that they make as figures, right?
Oh yeah.
Well, like today, I guess there's like a new line of like 6-inch. There's 6-inch GI Joes from the '84 line. So they're like the classic GI Joes. They're just bigger to kind of match, I guess, your other figures, dude. Just Lady J, just
Everywhere.
3 racks of Lady J.
Yeah. Oh, it's like the Rey action figures from Star Wars that came out, right? Like any girl action figure just doesn't sell as well. And I think Todd McFarlane, I know this has probably been talked about ad nauseum here, but like the girls don't buy action figures, and it's like, oh, they'll have like one girl figure per like 10 guy figures, right? So I don't. Why do they keep getting made? Like I just don't. I don't understand it. To me, that seems like capitalism gone stupid.
Capitalism is stupid.
Yeah, like something has like been lost in translation here, where it's like, hey guys, no one no one wants Ray action figures. Stop making them, please.
I mean, is it like the last desperate attempt at like, if say kids, maybe the future kids are just more about video games, and this is like the last attempt to sell figures to these like old fogies that are like, I remember my pet monster.
I mean, is it like property death? Like, is that what's going on? It's like, hey, like my kid doesn't give a crap about DC Comics, right? He doesn't give a he's a little bit more into Marvel, mostly because we've been watching the movies lately. But like, if it's like Minecraft,
Test.
hello,
There you
hot
go.
dog.
Wait, you can hear me now?
Yeah.
What the fuck?
Wait, you're fucking around with your shit.
No, that's not why I got kicked out. My internet died. What about now?
You
Can you hear me now?
Yeah,
Yes.
you're a little hot.
What the fuck? I'm hot?
A little
You think
hot.
I'm sexy? All right,
Just
how about
coming in a
what
little
the
hot.
fuck? I fixed it. That was weird. What about now? How's that? Is that good?
That's
good?
We good?
That's good. Yep.
Oh,
Good.
thank God.
What the?
I didn't think I'd have sound effects.
I thought you were like, you came back after 3 weeks and you're like, F this.
Yeah.
2
Wait,
Instead of
minutes
talking
later.
toys, we're getting out of here.
You're like, I
damn
didn't
it.
come here to talk about this fucking wussy shit.
Yeah.
Colonel Morg says girl figures never look as cool, but it's not because they're girls. Luke figures and Lando figures tend to linger. They don't look cool either. No awesome helmets and aren't cool aliens or droids.
That's true, dude.
That's
My
right,
dad
yeah.
was always like, why do you always like the bad guy figures when I was growing up? Like, he was thinking there's something off about me. And I was like, because they look cool.
You're a fucking
They're the
psycho.
coolest. Dude, all the coolest G.I. Joes, bad guys. Duke, just some army man. Most of G.I. Joes, just
Right.
army guys. And then the bad guys have cool helmets, cool weapons,
Even the Transformers, all the Autobots were all hillbillies and shit. They're like, Prime. But like, I see Hoth Luke probably more than anything. I think
Yeah.
Hoth Luke is probably the least favorite Luke figure ever.
I don't know. My son, he doesn't care about any of that stuff. Like he's not into Star Wars. He's not into DC. He's not into Marvel. Like if it's Minecraft, like the Minecraft action figures, he loves.
Hell yeah, dude.
If it's the Roblox, characters, like also have the
Yikes.
digital code or whatever for an item, like he's all over that crap. Fortnite characters, like he's all into that. I think I literally think it's just IP death. Like these old
Yeah.
IPs are just dead, and everybody else has moved on. It's something new now, and it's like, hey, who can we sell to? We can sell to Yucky. Yucky here. Hey, you remember these characters from
Yeah,
the
they
80s?
could almost sell to me.
Please buy them, please.
I swear.
Yucky
like,
remembers Fortnite.
dude,
Yeah.
today, out of all the, like, I don't even know how many superpowers figures there was on the rack. There was probably, I'm going to guess, more than 50 figures on the rack. There was one Deathstroke. I almost picked it up.
He's the hot seller there.
I
Not
guess
the
so.
Batman who laughs or whatever that other
Yeah,
one is.
that's
Are
fun.
there's still like rare variants and stuff, right? I don't mess with figures anymore, but back in the day, you had variants of everything. And
I mean, I'm
is that even
guessing.
still a thing anymore?
I don't know. I'm not sure.
I don't follow enough to know.
Yeah, I don't follow it enough. It's too expensive. It's bullshit.
I say there's more expensive hobbies to get into. Action
Yeah.
figures is not one of them.
Yeah, right.
Especially
My
at
God.
$40-$50 a pop.
God,
Dude.
NECA's crazy, man. When people have big NECA connections or collections, I'm always surprised.
Yeah.
You know,
I always almost cave though, because I walk by the section that has, I think it's between the electronics and the photo department at Walmart. There's like a NECA display, and
really.
yeah, it's like a whole, it's like a not a full aisle, but like a mini aisle, and it's always like Halloween. It's always like Chucky, and I'm like, I'm so tempted every time I walk by it.
Dude, NECA has had those like Jason figures on production, on loop, I swear to God, for what, 10 years?
Oh yeah,
You can just always find one of the Jasons from whatever, all 8 movies at any point in time.
Yeah, my favorite find, you used to go to thrift stores a lot, was finding a Friday 13th Part 3 Jason in
Yeah.
box. And he's still actually on my shelf. I've never taken him out, but he's like complete. Got it for $1.50.
Oh
And
wow.
I'm like, oh, that is the steal of a lifetime, and I will never match that.
You know why Jason 3 is the best Jason?
Oh, why?
He's got a humpback.
Does he?
He's,
He
Is
does,
that the one
yeah.
where he rapes?
yes, that is.
That's why.
Well,
that's,
we don't know. She. Oh, I don't know. I guess we're gonna have to go into this. We're talking. If anybody doesn't know, we're talking about Friday 13th Part 3.
Spoilers
And
for
the
40-year-old movie or whatever.
what's the main girl's name? Chrissy.
Charliqua.
I think it's Chrissy.
Tries
Chrissy
to
gets in a
sound
fight
right.
with her parents. She runs out into the woods, finds a nice dry spot to lay down, and then
As you do.
Jason like wakes her up, and she's like, "I tried to fight him off me, but I just couldn't." And then she wakes up in her bed. So, okay, let's assume Jason did rape her.
Mm.
He put her back in her bed, or did the parents find her?
He's a caring raper. Just as you do.
Is that a real question, Yucky?
Yeah.
I don't know. I think she was just tripping, to be honest. I mean, the first few Friday the 13th, it felt like they were really playing with the idea of kind of like a, not quite dream logic, but definitely where like, maybe this was
Super
a dream the
surreal.
whole time.
Yeah. Super
Yeah, but what do you,
surrealness.
They
I
did a
mean, you
lot.
think she had a premonition about Jason?
Maybe she did meet Jason.
Mm.
I mean, I think her story's like real because yeah, sure. When Jason had, I mean, most dream sequences in Jason movies are always in the last few minutes, right, or the last 10 minutes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like, I just watched Friday 13th Part 4 for. We just had a Friday 13th that just passed us. Happy
Yes.
Friday 13th, everybody.
Yeah. I believe it.
And every time I watch 2, I always love the part when Muffins, the little dog, comes back, right? And that's like the moment that eases you before like Jason comes through the window. It's like, oh, it's Muffins. But then when she wakes up, like Paul is gone and Muffins is gone. So you're like, wow, so the boyfriend never rescued her. Like that's part of some dream that Paul even rescued her. Like he died back in this like room, whatever, 15 minutes ago. And Muffins is the dog that the couple find when they when they get caught going to Camp Blood, and they find like it looks like a dog. That is Muffins.
Dream logic.
Yeah, it's like, oh,
That sucks.
did you guys actually like? I mean, people like us have been watching Friday 13th for so damn long. Like, do you still watch the Friday 13th movies on Friday 13th?
I watch Jason Goes to Hell.
Yeah. Usually I pick a random one. Usually. I don't sit down and watch all of them, but like I'll be like, oh, let's get Freddy versus Jason this year or something crazy like that.
Yeah, I like 2 and 4. Those are my go-tos.
You
2
don't,
and
you don't
4
ever be
essentials.
like, you know what? I want to see what happens if he goes to Manhattan again.
Again.
Yeah, I bet he'd have a good time.
Like,
in
damn it, this
Manhattan.
movie's gonna make sense if it kills me.
Yeah. Like that sewer.
That's
sewer
how I
scene at
feel
the
about
very
Jason
end.
Goes to Hell. That's why I watch it so much.
Mm.
Because
Sure.
I don't. It's just such a weird anomaly.
It's definitely crazy.
Yeah, they just pack in all this lore. It's not even very good. Like everyone
No.
seems to love that one. Everyone says, "Oh, it's the best." It's Jason Goes to Hell. It's not Jason Goes to Hell. It's just weird.
Is it because they shove all the lore in there and then people think it's a better movie than what it is? Is that
No,
what
I
it
actually
is?
I don't think I've ever heard anybody say that that's the best one. But I
Alright.
do like Creighton Duke. I think he's probably one of the best characters in the whole series,
That's
even
fair.
if he's utterly useless.
What's
in,
that line when it
Jason Goes
says,
to Hell?
When
What do you
that-
think of when I say the name Jason Voorhees? I think of a little girl in a pink dress putting a hot dog in a donut. Dude, and what does that even mean?
Yeah,
that's
that's-
what I think every
yeah.
time I watch it. What the fuck does that mean? I get the first part. Like I see Jason as just like a useless child. Like I will fuck him up. Then what's the second part? Like, why would a little girl do that? What are you seeing?
I will say Jason Goes to Hell has if you watch the unrated version, when that girl in the tent, like I usually don't become like a gore-hound about scenes where I'm like, oh, it's so bloody. Oh. But like, dude, that scene with the girl in the tent with the
Getting split with the machete.
whatever, it's like a yard. What is it? It's not a machete. It's like a metal. It's like a metal ground. I don't know what do you even want to call it. But yeah, when he splits her in half, that was
that's pretty crazy.
That's too much.
Jay Cassidy wants to know what ice cream we're eating, and that kind of makes me realize that we don't eat ice cream on the show, and I think ice cream eating duty should be up to Yucky Gum.
I mean, how do you? I never said I don't eat ice cream while we do the show. It's
Wait, you do
chalk.
eat ice cream when you do? Are you really?
It's mint chalk.
That's insane. Why don't you tweet that? People would go nuts.
I said my hot take is I don't really like ice cream.
That's weird. It's to me it's such a universal thing. Like I'm always surprised when people don't like tomatoes.
It's fine. Well, tomatoes is a nightshade. That could kill
Tomatoes,
somebody.
that's a big thing. Like
What? Who doesn't like tomatoes? It's everywhere.
I like
Pizza,
a slice of tomato.
spaghetti. I'll slice a tomato. Yeah.
Yeah, well, we're talking about food.
You want a slice of tomato on your burger, Yuck?
Yeah,
I do.
always.
There you go.
Yeah,
It's
you do the
just weird to
tomato
me because
slice,
it's
the
so
onion slice.
juicy. Like, what's a universal food if
Are you
not
one of those
tomato?
like? Are you like one of those weirdos that like eats tomato like an apple?
No,
Oh, okay.
but I will.
wanted to
I will
make
use
sure.
my tongue to carve the middle out
Yeah.
and then eat that, and then I'll eat the rind.
Yeah.
It's very unsettling. I don't know where to go with this.
Ugh. The tomato juice dripping down his chin.
Yeah, no, all of it. Yeah, the
Obscene.
juiciest shit just all over my face. We got Tim Olson in the chat. Tim, I have no sound
Tim.
effects today, so it's gonna be a rough stream. It's hard to call
It's
Yucky a
already been
baby.
rough.
You guys were already ranting about action figures. I didn't know how to chime in. I don't have a soundboard. This is like a predator with no weapons at all, just being stranded with a Native American. And
This is Hot Dog's biggest nightmare right here.
just getting defeated by a Native American girl, and everyone on Twitter's screaming right now.
No.
That's how I feel.
I hope that's another Predator coming out with a female
We should make a
protagonist.
female predator,
Yeah,
and then
there's
they
like
get
no
pregnant.
talk as popular as all these like Netflix Texas Chainsaw, Hulu Hellraiser, Hulu Prey. There's like no talks of sequels for anything.
I know, which is weird because like you hear about it because it makes the rounds of like the internet world. Like it's on every news site ever. You're like, oh, how awesome these are. Because I was just talking about this earlier. It was like the Hulu's Hellraiser, the female Pinhead, and then it was like 3 or 4 articles I read yesterday that was just like bringing this back up, and I'm like, guys, this is like 6 months old. Like how old is the movie? And they're just now bringing it up. So I was like, oh, maybe this is like them kind of like gauging or getting news out there that maybe there's another sequel will come out. Now, Yucky, you told me it was probably more like advertising.
I think it's just an ad. I think, yeah. I mean, I have no evidence of this, but yeah, it was like they're just like, they don't call you Pinhead like they do in the other movies. Well, it's because of the book. They didn't call him Pinhead.
But they
called
say
him
that in the
priest or whatever.
movie. They
That's what I'm
say we're not calling you Pinhead like we do in the other movies.
I swear, wasn't there a scine in the movie where they call her Pinhead?
No,
Am I crazy?
I don't believe so. I think you're.
They're like,
fucking
it's the
nuts.
Pinhead configuration or something. I don't know.
No, absolutely not.
I don't know if that's right at all.
No.
But blah blah blah. The end of the article is just like it's available on Hulu. Like, yeah, I think it's just like a paid ad where it's just like,
It just seems weird to do that for like a 6-month-old movie, right? Like, wouldn't you
Yeah,
want to
it is
like
weird.
plug the new stuff?
Maybe it is from like a producer or somebody who wants there to be a sequel. And they're like, hey, we need.
That's what I'm
Dredge some
thinking.
shit up
I'm
here.
I'm thinking that's like, hey, let's get some news out there. Let's get the buzz talking again. That way we can like get some eyes on it and greenlit it.
Dude, that's what they did with Santa Claus. Nobody cared about Santa Claus, and someone said, "Hey, where's the Santa Claus series?"
Yeah,
that we've been waiting for.
Tim Allen one.
Yeah, the Santa Clauses.
The clauses. I mean, it's always a possibility. I mean, yeah, they could always. I mean,
there's always talks about a sequel like right after. They're like, oh, this is how you know a film will never get a sequel. Where the director's like, hey, I can't wait for the chance to do the sequel. Because we heard that with the Predator one. We heard that with the Pinhead one. We heard that with the Texas Chainsaw one. None of them have been greenlit. And every director was just like, yeah, I'll come back for one more.
They're
easily.
all just a matter of time, though. I mean, to me, this whole thing is weird of the dredging up of properties to see what's going to get sequels or a series. Like I just mentioned, Santa Claus got a series. I think that's pretty weird. The R.I.P.D. has a sequel coming out. That's really weird.
That's fucking odd.
Yeah.
Willow, that's pretty odd. I thought everybody had moved on and forgot about Willow.
Can't forget about Willow.
Look,
I mean, but wasn't there was rumor... There was but hasn't there been rumors of a Willow sequel or something for a long time? It's just the only way they can get funded is when they finally they have to make it quote unquote diverse or whatever, and then they can finally get funded for this thing they've been trying to get off the ground for so long.
I want to blow everybody's mind. There's actually was already a Willow sequel.
What? Willow
was a book series, guys. It was done by what's his face, the comic book writer guy,
J.R.R. Tolkien.
Yeah, that guy. No, not him at all.
The only person I'm gonna say is Peter David because I know Peter David wrote books. That's it.
No, Chris Claremont.
Oh,
so there's already a book series about Willow. Yeah, I think it's Chris Claremont. Someone correct me in the chat
who did
if I'm
X-Men?
wrong. Yes.
Yeah.
I think that's who it is. Please correct me if I'm wrong. But Willow was a book series. I think it's like 3 books, and there was already a sequel that follows up afterwards. The new Willow TV show, nothing to do with the books. They're entirely new, obviously.
Why do they do that?
Right. Well,
I don't know.
Because those books, I guarantee those books came out like a year or 2 after the movie.
Sure,
right?
but my thought process is like, okay, if it's based on a book and that's what's popular, why don't we base the second one on the book?
It's not about like taking what already exists. It's about putting your own stamp on it, right? They're like, hey, we want to tell the Willow story for the new audience, and it's not like no one wants to see that Chris Claremont shit.
And what if those books suck?
And they were. I haven't read them, but I have heard they're not very good. So
yeah, so there's always that. Help. Like when you write the book, you do have a chance at like. Whew, like glad we didn't do that. Like we got that out of the way. We got the bad sequel out of the way. Hopefully,
obviously George Lucas signed off on it though. So
yeah, but he was signing off on a lot of shit
for
a long time. That doesn't mean anything.
Yeah, because a lot of the I think E.T. has a bunch of book sequels. Like it seems like a lot of those properties back then.
Does it? Is there an E.T. 2 the book?
Yeah.
What happens?
I can't wait to find out.
He's gonna go buy it now. So the only problem though is these kind of books they're very expensive to buy. Just because
I'm sure they can be, yeah.
One print run and they bomb because who the fuck wants to read E.T. 2?
Dude, people are chomping at the bit for more E.T.
I think it was like the aliens come back again, right? There's a whole armada.
Well, I think there was a script written for ET2 actually,
really,
and it was basically that, but there was like a bad ET who was hurting people. Or I don't know.
Oh my god.
I don't know. I kind of want to see it now. Mostly just I want to see the dumpster fire. That's where I am at in my life. I just want to see
E.T. turned into like a sci-fi action series. Let's get the epic,
just as it should have been.
The epic E.T. movie. We know the E.T. guys are in the whatever the Senate of Star Wars, right? So
yeah,
their species was obviously involved with.
Yeah, it's all canon. Bring back.
I think E.T.'s head would explode and then would be rebuilt by nanites, and then he'd be like a metal-headed guy.
Oh, like Cyber E.T.
Jim Turner's in the chat, and he says E.T. became Alf.
Oh, Does that
I'm trying to
mean
think of what else. We're getting Beetlejuice 2 at some point. Don't they keep talking about that for realsies?
I'm optimistically
God.
curious about what that is. I like the Michael Keaton renaissance that's been happening.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I'm cautiously optimistic on what they could do with Beetlejuice too.
Right.
But do they bring back what's his face, Burton? Do they bring like
I mean,
what do you do? Because I assume you would have to because Beetlejuice is very Burton-esque. That if someone that wasn't Burton did it, that it would just feel off.
Yeah, but go hard with that. Like, give it to that the guy who directed Dune or something. You know.
Oh,
Like,
yeah,
just
yeah.
go fucking way weird with it.
a really
Denis
existential Beetlejuice.
Yeah.
What is
I'd
the
be
meaning
down.
of death?
I'd be down,
Like,
man. I'd be down. Dune was
Beetlejuice
Dune's
ponders
amazing.
what is scary.
Oh
What
shit.
does
Colonel-
it mean to be creepy?
Colonel Mork says writers briefly paid attention to canon in maybe the 90s and 2000s. 80s and earlier was pretty bad, and these days no one cares once
Yeah,
again.
it makes me wish we got that Spider-Man movie, huh?
Yeah.
I
Cameron
really
one?
do, because I've always thought Leonardo DiCaprio would have been a great Spider-Man. I think he could play a fucking nerd and a pretty boy after he gets the Spider-Man powers.
Do you think he could still play a nerd, or you think those times are long behind him? He wouldn't be a believable nerd.
I would say Leo circa what year?
Like back when, because when he was supposed to be
Basketball Diaries, when he's
Spider-Man,
blowing
I
dudes with
mean,
coke?
that was before even Titanic. Like he would have been right out of what, Growing Pains? Like he would have been a kid.
Yeah.
And I mean, look at what's eating Gilbert Grape. Like he could play a nerd.
I wouldn't call the guy in Gilbert Grape a nerd.
Well, I don't
believe,
you know what I
I
mean?
believe the
I mean,
There's
but you know what I'm
a
saying?
word for it. That may
He's a
not be
good-
what Gable hinted
He's
at.
a good
actually.
actor. I think he could, you know.
He's renowned for that role. So
There it is.
yeah.
Timothy also says he could play a retarded Spider-Man.
Yeah, okay, or that. Yeah.
Oh my goodness.
Glad someone threw down the hard R. wasn't me.
I don't have a sound effect for that.
You gotta mouth it. That's the rule. There you go.
That's your sound effect.
But like cha-chings, how am I going to do that? I can't. You can't.
Cha-ching like you've never cha-chinged
heavy.
before.
You know what? You guys are going to fuck with me, and I'm going to invest in like actual instruments and like chimes and shit.
I'm just saying.
And it's
if
just
you're
going
not
to be
gonna go
like
all the way.
It's going to be like a 40s radio play in my room.
Hell yeah.
I mean, in my studio that I do this out of every day with these guys.
We could do that. I'm down for that. We could always do a live radio show with
Hot
sound
Dog's
effects and
wallet's
like
not down for that.
I got
Now, I
celery
notice-
for bones breaking.
I notice Yucky likes to talk a lot about E.T. What is that?
Talking about.
What is your E.T.
I actually
obsession?
fucking hate ET. Actually, I probably haven't seen it since I was 6 or
He
something.
hates it so much he has to keep bringing it up because he's.
Are you
I
are
didn't
you
keep
glad they
bringing it up.
replaced the shotgun with a walkie-talkie? Were you the target audience?
He probably
Like, I
loved
hate
that.
this movie. This will make it better.
I never even seen that. Like, I think
You
they
know what I'm
changed
talking
that
about,
back
though?
now. Yeah, because it was a bunch of cops after the kids on the bikes or something, and they had.
I wish they would have
guns.
kept escalating and they changed the cops to ice cream men and then just keep moving it along and
bunch of people
you just have a different movie in like 40 years. E.T. was too scary. We replaced him with a pet rabbit.
I mean, no, it's a fucking. That movie's a drag. Like
Did
even
they-
as a kid, I'm just like, oh, this sucks. This kid befriends an alien, then the government takes him away, and then it's just like a bunch of crying for like 40
Literally
minutes.
the Elian Gonzalez story. There's a timely
there's the
reference for you
parallel there,
guys.
yeah.
That's a name we haven't heard in a while.
I said most people in the chat probably don't know who that is.
Yeah, no shit, huh?
Was that the picture of the SWAT guy? coming
Yeah.
through the door.
Yeah.
I thought so.
Yucky, your assignment is to redraw that, but replace Elian Gonzalez with E.T. And you know what the best part is? You're not going to offend anybody on Twitter with that image because nobody will know what the hell
They
it
won't
is.
know.
No one
It
gets
could
that
be a
reference.
million years ago to them.
Those are the best jokes though, guys. No one gets it except for
Yeah.
a select few.
You got to have these weird little references that nobody's going to remember. You had to just be there. Nasser's listening to this right now. He's going to have no idea.
I know, no, he wasn't even born then. It's fine.
Yeah. It's insane.
Oh my gosh.
Now, Yucky, I notice you like to talk about Alien Gonzalez a lot. What is that?
Alien Gonzalez.
The parallels.
They run deep. He wants to talk about the thematic
Yeah, I mean,
interpretation of it.
I guess
Yeah,
like
please.
if you talk to modern day, like, I don't know what you want to call people that like modern day movie critics. I guess a lot of people think aliens, no matter what, are a like an analogy for minorities or whatever.
Like America Chavez. I didn't know she was coded as Latin American.
Oh, yeah.
I mean-
the name America.
Yeah, with a name like America, I didn't know it was Latin America. Emotional damage.
Hey, attaboy. That's what we're talking about.
That's pretty good.
Yeah. The Chavez part is probably what they were talking about, hot dog.
Back then,
That's how you knew.
Oh my god! So did you guys see the new fucking Scream? What is it? 7, 6?
6?
Is it 6?
Yeah.
The
last
Scream
one.
goes to New York.
5?
You talk about the ghost face guy fucking yielding a shotgun now?
I don't think it's a
No.
ghost face. I think it's a guy who's like robbing something. And he's got
No.
Is using a costume?
What I think the movie's about, it's some weird fan sicko, like a fanatic, because I'm sure they have to like make another like. Didn't the last one make some reference of like
the requel.
like nerd culture?
Yeah, but it was mad about the requel because they
They're
were
not doing
they
the
were
cult
doing a
thing
requel.
again, are they?
Well, I think they're. Well, I saw an image where it looks like somebody is collecting artifacts from the other movies. So I think even the Scream costume is going to be like, this is the one that Billy wore or whatever the hell, right?
Oh, it's
I
the
could be into that.
following. It's the following.
It's
Oh,
the
the
following.
following sucked.
And they're
so
going to be
bad.
like, man, baby nerds or whatever.
For
I
those who
hate
don't
babies.
know, that's it. For those who don't know, the guy who wrote Scream, Kevin Williamson, he actually wrote another script for a Scream sequel, and it was about a cult, the cult around Ghostface. I guess that never got picked up, but he
Really?
adapted it into a television show called The Following.
Really?
The whole
Yeah.
idea of a scream cult is so weird because your whole religion or ideology is based around Sydney's mom fucking dudes.
Right?
Yeah.
Isn't
Or
that
is it supposed to
weird?
be more like the
Incels love hoes, though.
like the horror movie cult people? Like, is it supposed to be more like that?
I don't know. I never read the original script, but I just know that was the basis of his TV show, and then his TV show kind of like died.
Because I guess I could see that. Like, if in the Scream universe, Scream became the movie Stab, and I don't know, like, imagine Snyder fans if Scream was real and Stab was a real movie, and Zack Snyder like fired the person who played Stab.
Stabbers.
Yeah, I could see it. Then again, Twitter's a cesspool of a bunch of
Twitter's
different-
not. I don't know, man. I always think it's weird when people complain about Twitter because it's such an ecosystem that you kind of create and curate. You know?
You curate your own ecosystem.
Yeah. So I always think
Yeah.
it's weird when people are like, "Oh, this hell site." It's like, motherfucker, those are your
But-
friends.
But you know, you can't like when you get into Twitter and you're like, oh, I just kind of want to be around movie things or movie. It's like the people are fucking really about like they wish happy birthday to movies every day.
Oh yeah, I always wonder how they know whose movie birthday it is. Like, who the fuck has their calendar set to? Oh shit, it's Roy Batty's birthday today.
I guess they just like wake up and Google it and they're like, Godzilla 1998 was released on this day. Happy birthday, Godzilla.
It's got to be automated. That's all I got to say.
That's what I think too. There's
All
like
bots.
some movie birthday database that they're getting emails from. That's weird.
Speaking of birthdays, today there is a person who has a birthday. He's dead. He's been long dead. Robert E.
Yucky
Howard.
gum.
By Crom.
Yeah,
No,
Robert
he
E.
said-
Howard.
he said
creator
Robert
of
Who's
Howard.
that?
Creator-
Is he one of the Three Stooges?
Yeah, that guy.
Oh,
Is his Jewish name.
so a funny one.
It's the creator of Conan.
That
Conan
was Arthur Conan Doyle. That's where he
The
did the character. It's
usurper.
a self-insert. No,
Yeah, okay, yeah. Maybe you're right. Maybe Robert E. Howard did Sherlock then, obviously.
Jesus Christ.
No, Sherlock was Sir Arthur Conan Doyle.
No, Conan. No,
I hope
Arthur
there's a
Conan
better
Doyle made
version of this
Conan.
show where people know what they're talking about. Because I want to hear
Well,
that show.
we do okay for ourselves.
Yeah, we
do our key for
fudge
ourselves.
ourselves.
Wait. So Conan's not a self-insert from Arthur Conan Doyle?
No, he's not.
No.
Created by Robert E. Howard back in the pulp days,
What are the pulp days? Like the 40s?
20s, 30s.
Yeah.
So everyone's writing about these detectives and shit, and he's like, you know what? What about a big naked guy who fucks?
Yeah.
I mean, I think they still did a lot of fantasy back in those days.
Yeah, sword. They call it sword and sandal pulp. That was very.
Yeah.
And then
That's
it kind of
weird.
morphed into like sci-fi sword and sandal, which is
Yeah.
where you get, your Edgar Rice Burroughs and your other kind of guys. Even though I think Burroughs came first. I don't know. It was kind of a weird position where everybody was sort of like.
So was it
genres were
before
colliding.
Lord of the Rings?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. Lord of the Rings was what, 30s, 40s?
What?
I'm gonna look.
Yeah. Look it up.
History's crazy, you guys. Let's talk about
This is a long
deep.
time ago. This is back when H.P. Lovecraft. Obviously, we all know he was racist. Stop bringing it up.
We all know his cat's name,
Yep. His cat was
Don't say it.
Nathan.
Nathan. Yeah.
Nathaniel.
Okay, so the Hobbit was published in 1937.
Hey, I was all right. 30s, 40s.
When was I think the first Conan story was the Phoenix on the Sword?
Yes.
Phoenix?
That's part of that sets up the Phoenix saga.
It's probably in the 30s too, I would assume,
Oh yeah.
because the homeboy shot himself pretty quickly.
32.
Wait,
So
Conan's dad shot himself?
No, he shot himself. He
Robert
was
E.
a
Howard
manic
killed
depressive.
himself. Yeah.
Oh, damn.
Okay, that's like one of the first. Okay, this is a very important thing to learn about, like, creators
They
Oh.
killed themselves.
of specifically power fantasy creators. They create these very strong characters that nothing could stop, and then like in reality, they like live at home with their moms, and like it's just like a lesson of like it just seems like that it always goes that way.
Well, Robert E. Howard shot himself because his mother died.
He was 30.
Yeah, he was a mama's boy.
There's a good document, or I guess biopic, about Robert E. Howard. I forget the name of it though. But it came
Yeah.
out about 15 years ago.
Yep.
Howard
I'm not-
didn't duck.
With fucking Vincent D'Onofrio is
Yes.
Robert E. Howard.
Very good. You
And
guys
there's like a
wanna watch it.
scene of him freaking out in a field, explaining, like, basically being a nerd and geeking out to a woman
Yeah.
about Conan.
This is the story of every of all our lives. So you'll
Yep.
feel the pain this man has.
Like, we're all dorks.
They were all dorks. But anyways,
we're not mama boys.
happy birthday, Robert.
We're
E.
not.
Happy birthday after I just made fun of people that have birthdays for.
Hey,
I
happy
know, so it's-
birthday for your birthday.
I only remember because I was a big Robert E. Howard fan. I have all the Del Rey collection books for Conan. So that's the only reason I know.
Oh, speaking of Conan, Free Comic Book Day is in May. And there's going to be, I don't know if it's like an issue 0 or if it's going to be the first, but there's going to be a first issue of the brand new Conan comic from Titan Comics.
Yeah, they got the rights from Marvel, huh?
Yeah. So that hopefully
curious.
should be exciting.
Have they
Get
announced the
some-
creative team yet?
It's going to be Jim Zub, who I think actually wrote a lot of the Marvel stuff.
Okay.
I don't know if the family or whoever the hell really likes him. I don't know if they're going to be doing adaptations of Robert Howard stuff or new stories. I'm not sure, but
I would like to see new stuff. I know
the
that sounds
artist,
weird,
dude,
but-
the artist almost looks kind of like almost like a Sal. How do you say his name? Sal Buscema.
Shima.
Sal Buscema.
Yeah, I mean,
Art looks
I'm
good.
down. I don't want retellings of the old stories because I think that's been done so many times.
Like Dark Horse did that for a long time.
Yeah,
and-
give me something new. I don't know. Figure out a time period. I don't care if you're doing it as young Conan or you're doing it as King Conan. I don't care where in his timeline you're doing it. Just pick a period, make some unique stories, make some cool bad guys, and just give us some blood. That's all I need.
Jim Turner says free is too high a price for most comics. That is true.
Fair.
That is
fair.
true. It takes the gas. You gotta go down to the shop.
Well, Yucky, you and I were talking once. I don't know too many guys who actually go to the comic book store anymore, except for you and me.
Yeah, it's you know.
I was going.
Was
And I stopped.
hot
Yeah,
dog
I stopped.
was.
I
But
mean, I
again,
just
I'm only
have to
buying
go to a
Spawn right now,
store
so.
because how the hell I couldn't follow some what else would you do? You go to a website and
Yeah, where else you go get floppies? You know?
I mean you gotta get the book when it comes out on when are you supposed to pre-order fucking everything you ever want to buy? You can't. You can't just spontaneously shop for comics and like look through it.
Yeah,
That's
I mean,
the
I got
fun
I got a
part,
pull
is
box.
digging.
I got a pull box. I call up. I say, hey, I want this, and they add it to my pull box, and then I go in every other week or so to get my pull. That's how I do it, anyways.
I'm almost never ready. Like I use there's a free like little newspaper a lot of comic shops have called Comic Shop News Weekly,
Yes.
and I actually do use them a lot for information on what's coming out. But it's always like the next week or something, so I
Really?
just never have time to. I always have to like call up and be like, throw this in my box when you get it in, or because I don't want to, I don't want to special order shit, and I don't want to subscribe to something before I know it's any good.
Yeah.
I'd like to come and pick it up off the rack.
Now, talking about comics, Yucky, if I recall correctly, you were incredibly excited for Pregnant Joker.
Oh yeah.
Oh,
Are we doing Pregnant Joker? All right.
dude, I'm actually even more mad at Pregnant Joker.
Why? Because it's not yours?
Dude, that's one of my favorite modern day artists doing that book or doing that story or whatever the
Arthur
hell.
Conan Doyle or
No,
whoever?
his name is Fran.
All goes back to Conan.
God damn it, what is his name?
I can't remember
is
the
it
other guy's name.
Francesco Francavilla? Francesco Francavilla. He's an
Wait,
Italian.
your favorite artist is doing a backup to, because
Wow.
Dude, well, because I mean,
that's
the
what
guy-
Pregnant Joker comes in. By the way, he's the
yeah, but
backup.
he
story.
like Francavilla, dude. He does tons of work, so his style is just like cheapened. Like he still has a lot of cool coloring, a lot of really weird abstract coloring that kind of reminds me of like I don't know 70s or 80s comic coloring.
Yeah.
But yeah, I couldn't believe when I found out that was not only the really dumb Joker pregnant story or whatever the hell it is. It's like my favorite artist that is doing his most phoned in work for DC.
Is that yeah? Can I have a sort of a hot take here? I
Not
actually
too
don't.
hot.
The Pregnant Joker thing, I think is a nothing burger.
Yeah, I do too.
I
think
read
it's
the first
dumb,
4
and who
issues.
cares?
I read the first 4 issues. All right, so and I forget what it is. It comes in the 3rd issue or maybe it's 4th issue.
I think 4.
Yeah, so in this Joker run, there's a main storyline and there's the backup story. The backup story is always this weird, like sort of like fever dream kind of story where like one time the Joker his body gets grafted onto like a gorilla body. Like it's a bunch of fever dreams kind of stuff. And he's always hitting on some DC woman, superhero or DC villain woman. And, he gets, doesn't go very far, right? He's confessing his love. So it's all sort of like this weird manic fever dream. And then, yeah, there's a pregnant Joker where he thinks he's pregnant with the baby of, was it Zatanna? And it's just like the other backup stories. They make no sense. They're all just weird fever dreams. So I think this is sort of overblown in the conservative world here. I can understand why people don't like it because it's not very good. But like I don't understand all the super, I don't know, fake outrage over it.
Really quick, Jim Tuner says the artist that Yucky likes is Francisco Franco via Conan Doyle Sanchez.
Thank you, Jim.
So I didn't realize we were both right on that one.
There you
thank
go.
So
Jim.
okay, so can I give you my fuddy-duddy take on the pregnant Joker?
Yeah, but no swearing.
No, I'll be nice. I mean, I think the reason it matters is because I think what it is camp. And camp is just another part of deconstruction of characters. I know a lot of people are like, but it's a joke, it's funny, but it's like, well, that's the purpose of camp. It's to be a joke. It's to demoralize you through not taking anything seriously and just being, stupid. Like Flash Gordon the movie, or even the Batman 66 series, right? I think I think that's why it matters, because I mean, not to get too crazy political, but the left doesn't like jokes. That's why they ruined comedy. So when they're just joking or whatever, there's a reason they're joking and laughing, is because they're doing their little political thing they do.
Fair.
Yeah, that's my take on it.
Yeah, like I say, I don't think it's a. Comics are stupid. There's been
Yeah.
far
Fuck 'em.
stupider things that happen in comics.
I'm with Gable. Fuck comics.
Yeah, this is like not, to me. It's like, I don't know. It's not the worst thing I've seen or the stupidest thing I've seen. It's just another bad thing.
Wasn't it Clayface's baby?
I don't know.
I kind of like the idea. I don't know if you guys ever saw that movie. I think it's Bad Milo, where the guy has
Yeah.
a demon in his butt. I kind of
Yeah.
like that idea, but it's Clayface and Joker.
Oh,
Where there's like
okay.
a tiny Clayface that possesses Joker's colon and then just blows him out to kill stuff or something. I don't know.
This guy's all about camp.
Maybe DC will give me a job if I'm gay enough.
You deconstructionist.
Just tell me you're a hot dog.
Motherfucking bastard.
I'm a hot dog, but presenting. I'm a male presenting as a hot dog.
There you go. They can't say no to you. That's their rules.
Hot dog presenting.
I mean, I think no matter what, I think deconstruction is natural to art, though. That's why
Yeah.
I'm not saying that everything is political and everything is whatever. I think anything after 20 or 30 years is going to start being taken apart.
Yeah,
Or
I think that's just the natural.
When it
course.
works, it's great, right? Though, like
When
The
it works, it's
Watchmen
great. Yeah. When it's
Watchmen
overdone.
2.
Scream, the best movie franchise ever made.
Yeah, it's when you like do it with like Superman, that's when you're like, yeah, you just fucking ruined this whole thing.
That's
Like,
because you love Superman so much.
Well,
Just
but
like
I'm-
comedy, Yucky. Nothing is safe.
That's right.
Or
It's just, but I don't know. You can ruin things. Look at what they tried to do with the Jared Leto Joker.
Mm.
Like they tried to take it this
Broken.
weird way.
I don't wait. It almost sounds like you're gonna say they like deconstructed the Joker with Jared Leto's Joker.
I mean, they did, because if you watch the deleted scenes, Joker, he has no lines that make him a character. He explains to the audience what he's like. He's like, I'm an enigma. It's like, this is horrible writing, because you're
show, not tell.
Yeah. I mean, I don't know if they just took the Heath Ledger scene where he's like, I'm like a dog chasing an ambulance. I don't know what I do when I caught it, or whatever. And they're like,
did
let's
it worse.
expand that. And that will be his only dialogue.
Let's take it and just make it worse. That's fine. Thinking, you know what, hot dog? No one gives a shit about comics or
You think-
movies.
You guys think Heath Ledger will ever be Joker again?
One time. Maybe in his fever dream.
Mm.
That way he can get pregnant and shit out a baby.
I brought up the Scream poster specifically because did you see the one with the 14 fucking people on it?
Oh
Yeah.
yeah. That's just a thing nowadays, right? I mean, that's just kind of what they do with these like posters. They're like, hey, because no one cares, right? No one watches normal TV to see these trailers, so they actually have to go out and look at them. So now these movie posters that get plastered over social media, it's like, hey, look at all this hot and up and coming talent that are in our movie.
But 14 people. Is that like everyone's afraid of getting sued, of not getting like equal pay or equal time? So it's just like,
No, it's an
why aren't
ensemble
I on the
picture.
poster? No, it's not.
Yeah,
What's wrong with you? You're just gonna you see something like it's a mad world and just lose your goddamn mind. Cannonball Run. You're just like, is this a Teamster thing? What is this, unions?
I like to think they just know it's a Tim has it right. I was about to go this route. They're deconstructing posters where it's like Scream has
What
gone
the
on for so long that they're like, you know what? Fuck it. We're putting everybody in there. The ice cream man going in there.
Wasn't
Nice.
Scream the first movie to start that trend of putting
Dude,
just the actors on the poster
Scream?
like that?
Scream was the first movie.
Yeah, it's the best
damn it, hot
5-star
dog.
movie ever.
Dude, now if I said that with sound effects, oh my god.
Oh my
You'd be
God.
losing it
Oh
right now.
my God.
My god.
Movie stars.
Yeah, I think Jim's right here though. I think they've always had that kind of poster because stars sell the movie, so they always had the floating head kind of posters throughout
Yeah.
the whole time. So
14 individual actors. That seems crazy.
that
I
is
don't
a
think
little-
I've
A
ever-
that is
lot of big
crazy.
names in Scream.
lot of big name.
yeah,
Everybody.
in Scream
Big
6.
names.
Yeah.
Scream 6.
They had to put that-
Panettiere back. Kirby from Part 4. Everybody.
I would have been fine if they just had Ghostface with a shotgun on the cover. I think that would have sold me.
Yeah, that's
just-
all I need.
That's all I needed.
Well, I did see. Wasn't there a really good poster where it looked like the subway map and whatever?
Oh, yeah.
I don't know. Some train route made the shape of the ghost face.
Yeah, there's always those like very creative posters you see for movies, but they never use that as the main poster A, right? It's always that floaty
Right.
head shit that gets thrown in theaters.
That's why I had to think. I'm like, was that fan made? That's too cool to.
You know what they
a
should
modern
do with
poster.
this, by the way, is it should be that there's like rival ghost faces that
End
are
it
fighting.
all.
Oh,
No, there should be rival ghost faces.
yeah, like
Oh my
like
gosh.
gangs. Yeah. Like the
I'm just saying
Newsies.
that I kind of like the idea of like killers facing off.
Really?
And like why not? That's kind of something you
sense.
don't really see very often. There was a short in Masters of Horror that was like that. I forget which one, but there was one where there's like rival killers and not rivals, but this person runs into two killers, so there's a conflict of interest.
Right.
And the killers kind of are fighting over this kill. I mean, why not have it where you have these different ghost faces that are killing and just I don't know, it'd be fun. It'd be a twist. It'd be different, you know.
Space War.
I'm just tired of every time it's like Sydney, your mom fucked my dad.
Yeah. How many
Okay.
cousins or
Yeah.
family members 3 times removed can it possibly be?
Yeah.
Come on,
Yeah,
guys.
that's the problem with having to have like a twist identity of the killer for every damn movie. Like
Yeah.
Jason movies don't have that. Michael Myers movies don't have. You know who the damn killer is.
Yep.
They'll be like, why does this people want to kill these people again?
Who knows? Who cares? All I know is I'll be in there for Scream 6.
Really?
Yeah, I'm a big Scream fan.
Holy shit! Oh,
I will be if I subscribe to the pass. That's how I watched it last time, like the movie pass thing. But they're closing down the theater right next to my house, so I don't know what I'm gonna do.
Is it an AMC or a Cinemark? What is it?
It's a Regal.
Oh, Regal. Oh my god.
I like.
Sorry to hear that.
That's all right.
Sorry for your loss.
What's crazy is the city's like, yeah, we really hope that somebody buys this building to do something with it. It's like, no shit. But what do you like? A store goes out of business. You make another store, right? You can have a Target go out of business. You can have a Kmart. It just becomes another store. What do you do with a movie theater? What can a movie theater become
Right.
besides another movie theater? And
An arcade.
who knows? And yeah,
'Cause those are
totally.
popular.
Those are popping off right now.
Yeah.
well, we've got a lot of old movie theaters where they fill in the ramp with cement and even it off, and I don't know, it becomes a freaking like thrift store or something.
I would say the one we have 2 theaters in my town. One of them did close down during COVID, and right now, just empty. It's right next to a Texas steakhouse, though, so people still drive that way.
Yeah, it's not like a McDonald's. Like you can do stuff. Like usually if you're driving around like old country towns
Mhm.
and you see a store that looks almost like a dome, that was probably an old movie house in the 50s.
My favorite are the repurposed Taco Bells. You see,
Oh my god.
those are my favorite. They're like, "What is this? Oh, it's a printer
No,
copy
no,
store
no.
now."
The Pizza Huts are the king.
Oh yeah.
Because they still
Pizza Huts are
maintain
good.
the hut shape.
Yeah, that's true.
Just
All right,
like
fair.
But,
McDonald's, they usually become a title and license place.
yeah,
or
It's
a Happy
pawn
Walk.
shop now.
One of our
Tile
local
alone.
theaters became a venue, which was pretty cool because like the slope of where the seats were, it's it kind of creates a good place. Like you could stand in the back and see. You could go up front and see. It's nice.
Really?
I like
Yeah,
it.
it's pretty cool. Pretty cool little
People are
venue.
insane. I heard there was some fucking news about Sean Cunningham
Okay.
finally working on a Friday 13th remake and
Another-
a
and a
House
series?
remake.
Oh.
Wait, house or house?
Nah, definitely not
no,
House.
Cunningham's House. House
Oh.
with William Cat.
Cunningham did have.
I'd rather have a house.
House. Did you ever see?
I'd
House?
love an American
Hot dog?
remake of House.
I would love it too.
Because
It
it'd
has
be
to be
so
weird
bad.
shit, though.
It'd be bizarre, dude.
I don't think anyone could do it, but I want them
think
to
so.
try.
Get that one Japanese guy that Hollywood knows. Make him do it. They love that guy. Oh wait, no, they'll probably make it Korean now.
I don't even know why you do like a House reboot, considering most of the movies aren't even really related.
No, aren't they all their own little story, right?
Well, 1 and 4 kind of connect because William Cat comes back, and even though he has a daughter, but in the first one he had a
Really?
son. Yeah, it just doesn't. It doesn't
bizarre.
matter. It doesn't
do
make
they?
sense. It's
You think
bad.
they'll remake the first movie, or they'll just be like, "Oh, this is a sequel make"?
I
or
bet you'll
whatever?
remake it. The first one has a pretty good
But
character
you could do
story.
anything. It's such a loose thing. It's not like the House franchise or name is tied to anything specific. I don't think besides houses.
Well, they don't want to insult all the House fans.
That's
I
me,
think it's
and I love House too.
Oh wow. I think it's a good movie that can be remade though. Like
It could, but
not
I just
a lot
think,
of people know about. It's not like it's The Omen. It didn't win fucking Oscars.
right? But I think it's the same issue I have with like Star Wars 7, 8, and 9 is like you have this universe where you could go and do anything, but instead you just remade Part 4. That's how I feel about House. You could do anything in House as long as there's a house involved, So why remake it? You don't have to call it a reboot. Just say we're working on a new House movie. No one's going to be like, "Oh, does it?" Like, it doesn't fucking matter. If you watch House, you're not going to ask that question
Because
it
even if
doesn't
you
matter.
say a new House movie, people are going to be like, "There was old House movies." Like they're not going to know.
Well, then
But-
we look
well, they
down
would-
upon them.
Why wouldn't they say that if there's a House reboot? If I didn't know that, well, there's a House old boot.
And I think the first House is kind of special compared to the sequels. Like,
Not
you
better
don't
than
wanna-
House 2. That's
Dude,
for sure.
I get it. There's a caterpillar dog or something.
Puppy pillar or cat or puppy.
Puppy
You can take your
oh.
pick.
Oh,
Jim Tuner's taking a stand. He will not watch a House movie that does not follow House canon.
There you go.
Emotional damage.
Back War.
I mean, I've always loved House, so I wouldn't mind
I
a
have to.
remake.
I would say, out of all those you mentioned, Yucky, that to me sounds the most interesting. Like, I don't really care about Friday 13th or anything.
Yeah.
I mean,
And I think
guess
that's just because we've got enough already. Like, we got
Yeah,
a
I'm like,
bunch.
all right, we're good. I'm good.
I'll watch a new one. Don't get me wrong, but in terms of things I could be excited about, a 11th entry or 12th entry into the franchise.
Yeah. So does
I
he own
mean-
anything else? I mean, he used to do porn. Maybe they remake one of those porn ones.
Jason Voorhees did not do porn. That's not canon.
No, Sean Cunningham.
Oh,
he probably did.
They all did back then.
Yeah. But I don't know. I didn't like the what is it, Michael Bay?
the Platinum Dunes. After
Yeah.
Platinum
Teen.
Dude, yeah.
Yeah, that remake
I
was
liked it.
bad in my opinion.
I don't think so. I think
I'm
you're
game.
wrong.
What?
I think you're wrong.
Ugh, you like all the bad remakes.
I like everything.
He
It's
loves
all
the
out.
new. He
You
loves
just
the
like that the
Bay.
TV's on.
He
I
loves the
like
Bay.
I like the light,
My
and I can
friend
put my
here.
hand on it, and it's warm.
It's warm.
I like that part of the movie. I'm just gonna have the shittiest reviews that make you
I just-
question my sanity.
I just like the sound being on. Makes me feel like there's somebody else in the house.
I like when the people talk because if I pause it, there's no one to answer but me.
Yeah. It's like they're talking to me.
Yeah, it's me that's in the movie now, and they have to be my friend.
It gets awkward when they start screaming, though.
And they also don't get my Alien Gonzalez reference.
what
oddly
are we
enough.
talking about?
No one does.
We're talking about remaking House. Full I would do a Puppy Pillar solo movie. By the way, I watched this movie yesterday called Monster Trucks. Have you seen this? Have you heard about
No.
Wait, is that the one with the MacGyver kid in the TV show?
this? Is that the MacGyver kid? Oh,
Yeah.
Is that the one where the Loch Ness monster type
It's
inside
monsters
the
are
truck?
inside the trucks?
Yes, it is.
It's good. It's actually good.
It's not bad. Yeah, it's enjoyable. It scratches this itch I have of like those I don't know if you guys remember Moonbeam, which was Full Moon's children's shoot off thing
Yeah.
they did, or like this weird direct to video children's genre. But it scratches that itch for me, which is a genre that I just kind of appreciate. But I'm super bummed that movie wasn't made in like the 90s, because we would have gotten the cartoon, a bunch of toys and shit. And I kind of would have liked to have seen all of that happen. You know?
I mean, that's not necessarily true. I mean, there was 3 pre-Hysteria movies, and they didn't get toys or cartoons.
Okay, they wouldn't, because they were made by Full Moon. But Monster Trucks was made by Nickelodeon, so we would have absolutely gotten all those.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That movie falls into like, I can't believe this movie got made, and I also
Yeah,
can't
100%.
believe it got put out, and like no one even has even heard about it.
Yeah.
I didn't know
I
it existed
remember the
until me and my
trailer.
kid were flipping through, was it Netflix or whatever, and we were like, oh, a monster truck movie? There's a big old alien in the thumbnail. Let's watch that. And we watched it, and we ended up enjoying it.
Okay, so I just looking up some Monster Trucks info.
There you
It
go.
had $125 million budget.
Woo.
Deadline Hollywood calculated the film lost the studio $123.1 million.
Yeah, it's a bomb. Like it didn't do very good.
Yeah, it's
I didn't
the
think it hit that
title.
hard. Why? It's got what you need.
It's just called Monster Trucks. It's stupid.
That no way that
That's
wasn't
it.
like a. I mean, if you look at the CG is actually pretty good.
Yeah, it's not bad, especially
Like,
for the
I got-
time. It was 2016. So.
Yeah, I'm like I said, I'm curious, how the hell did this movie get made, and why does it look
Right.
this good?
It like pairs well with something else Yucky might love called Real Steel.
Oh, I love Richard Matheson. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
does
Jim
pair well with
Turner is
Real
bringing
Steel,
it back to House 4.
Also Wolverine.
He said, "Will we ever find out what happened to Kelly from House 4? Is she safe? I'm more concerned what happens to Pizza Face, played by Kane Hodder. Ooh. That's what I want to know about.
Maybe watch the new movie. Maybe they'll tell you.
You guys know? Have you guys seen that part of House 4? That part pops up every once in a
No,
while.
I can't
It's
find
in-
House 4.
I'm your pizza man,
not
and it's
on-
this Pizza Face guy played by Kane Hodder singing this song about being a pizza man.
It's not on Tubi. At
Okay,
least
so
that's
there were
what I
monster
saw.
truck toys. We're gonna go to Amazon and we're gonna
Was there
look
monster truck
how
toys?
much. Yeah, there were. And guess
They
who's
have
gonna buy
to
them
be
all?
like a penny with like $75.
You say that, except for the monster trucks fandom.
Oh, sure, you're right. Yeah, I
Unhinged.
mean, it's gained a cult following of 4 people.
Maybe overseas.
This one movie board I'm on, this dude legitimately like turned it into a meme and would just talk about it all the time and drop the name Creech like at any chance.
Creech the Leech.
It's a good movie, Yuck. I think you'll like it.
It is
I
pretty
don't
good.
think so.
It's
I think
better
it'll
than it has
appeal to
any
your
right
childlike
to be.
sensibilities.
Yeah, I don't have that anymore. Like, I tried to watch. You remember Star Kid?
Yeah.
I always wanted to see Star Kid because I'm a big Guyver fan, and I'm like,
It
when
looks
I
like
saw-
Kid's Guyver. Baby's
It looks like a
first
Kid Guyver.
Yeah.
Fuck, it was boring. It was just like,
Yeah, I don't remember. I think when I tried to watch it when I was younger, I fell asleep, I think.
dude, it sucked.
Well, Yucky, you'll be happy to know that there's an environmental message in this movie. I know those are your favorites.
Those are my favorites.
yeah.
I love an environmentalist.
Well, the environment is bad, so.
No, humans are the enemy.
Are the real enemy or
Yeah.
real animals?
We're the
Or-
germs.
Are the real monsters?
Day of the Animals, any of those.
Day of the
You
Danimals.
stupid humans. You've poisoned you've polluted the earth.
We're
I
not
just
getting
found
a
out.
Monster Truck sequel, are we?
No, I don't
Dude,
think
it's
so.
$60 for a Monster Trucks toy. I don't even know
Buy
which
it.
truck
I mean,
this is.
listen, it's only
just
money.
because it's rare, not because it's
Yeah, but I don't
wanted.
have like dumbass money. I've got like, I got some money, and I don't have like dummy money, you know?
I need some of that YouTube affiliate money. Come on.
Come on,
Let's go.
Let's get this channel to 1,000 in about 20 minutes so I can buy this toy, guys. We got to start pushing.
Hot Dog's gonna drop his PayPal and
Oh,
Yep.
there you go. The hot dog monster truck fund, please.
That's right.
you know what
GoFundMe.
the only part they shouldn't remake of the first house, like I want to see an exact duplicate, is the poster of the first house. That's probably
the
like
poster's 11 out of 10. One of the
Dude.
greatest posters of all time. For
that poster like scared the shit out of me just by looking at it when I was a kid. You gotta just do exactly the same thing.
Damn, I can't find the Monster Trucks toys on Amazon. I found them on some weirdo site though.
Have you tried AliExpress?
Specifically for weirdos.
No, it's called. I never heard of it. Toywiz.com. I'm sure somebody's gonna be like, "Oh
Toywiz,
yeah, dude,
yeah,
that's
I've heard
why I
of
order all
Toywiz.
my Monster Trucks."
Yeah.
The number one Monster Trucks head is in the chat right now. His
Dude, I
name
mean-
is like Creech fan 69 me.
He's got that Google notification anytime someone
Yeah,
mentions it.
Creech so horny.
You better be careful. You're gonna get into like the kit bashing communities of making your own monster trucks and.
See, the part of the problem is the name is so common that you type in Monster Trucks
Yeah.
toys, you get that. Monster Trucks movie toys, there's some other movie with Monster Trucks, the Hot Wheels ones. This is we're probably the most oppressed right now, or the Monster Trucks fandom.
That's why I was like the title sucks. Usually I'm a big fan of a
What?
title
The
that tells
the
you
title's
exactly what it is.
amazing.
Yeah, what I mean, the problem is, what else would you call the movie?
You don't. You can like
Creech.
You go the
or
Creech capers,
whatever. Like
Make
I
a
don't
trail
know.
Creed.
I'm not saying
Trail
this
of
exactly, but
Creech.
something like Herbie the Love Bug, but you make it like I don't even know. Like you said, Creech the monster truck. I
Creech
don't-
the other love.
Then it seems
bug.
like a really bad, like, I don't know, TNT movie. You
Well,
know?
the whole thing sounds really bad.
It's
I can't
not,
believe it
though.
got greenlit. Oh, what if it was a tax thing?
That's why I think there's probably some weird like tax write-off thing that's happening because I'm like, a lot of money went into this movie for exactly no reason.
What was that other movie? There was that one with Andy Garcia based on a children's toy. What's it called?
Was it China Money? Is that what it
No,
was?
no, there's no movie called China Money. It sounds like
no.
a stripper's name.
I know.
Could have been.
My name's China Money.
I don't know, man. What are you watching?
So
Max Steel.
Oh, Max Steel.
There was a Max Steel movie.
I never watched it.
Okay, but Monster Trucks is way better than Max Steel for all you Max Steelhead fans in the
Dude,
chat.
you know
right?
Max Steel is actually from like the 50s or something?
Yeah.
It's like an old toy.
An old Mattel toy.
Sorry, I'm looking at this ad for the Creech Monster Trucks giveaway.
He's by the time the
posted by
next
Burbank Mom. So
by the time the next ice cream social happens, he'll have that in his room.
no, I fucking won't. I wish I could say otherwise, Gable, but
Yeah.
it's not true.
I mean, what the hell does it even do? Does it fight things? Like, if you watch the damn movie,
monster
the monsters fight, or they just race? Like, is there really no reason for there to be a monster? Because it's just like, I mean, it's just a truck that
they
goes.
were drilling for oil and he came out.
Yeah, they accidentally went too far into this like ecosystem of I
But
don't know, this life.
but what does it do?
He lives in a truck.
He's getting hunted by stuff.
and yeah.
By the oil company.
And so he's hiding in a truck that's performing in races.
No. That's
No,
the
no.
neat part. It's not. It's not that. It's not the movie you think it is.
Oh,
Kid
shit.
bought a truck to fix.
I didn't know it was one of those. You're like, no, it totally.
Jim Tuner
does
says
that.
you would call it Monster Jam, maybe. Was it the TNT Monster Jam with like Gravedigger and stuff?
I have no idea.
Yeah.
No,
Probably.
Anybody remember that? TNT Monster Jam.
Andy's like, watch the movie.
Dude, we did. It's fantastic. Andy's obviously a Monster Trucks aficionado as
I'm
well.
not gonna watch the movie.
I think you should.
Sounds like a huge waste of time.
You waste time on dumber things than Monster Trucks.
Well,
Speaking of wasting time, we
happy.
also watched Six. So Yucky, I don't think we have much to say about that.
True. And then Yucky tells me to not watch this movie. So I go on and not watch Sick because let's be real. I'm a big Monster Trucks fan. I got Monster Trucks to watch now.
Right? That's fair.
And I don't watch it. And then Yucky goes, "Why didn't you watch the movie?"
Because it wasn't
Yucky,
Monster
you
Trucks.
told me not to watch the fucking movie.
that's not what happened. I didn't want to be because you're like, is it good? I'm like, I mean,
That's when you go, yes, it's amazing.
Yeah,
hot
it's
dog.
fantastic.
Go watch it.
I say that no matter the movie. I said it about Monster Trucks like
but
7
you,
times.
exactly.
already.
You watch any dumb movie, so I expected you to watch
Oh, you
it.
think you're better
So
than me?
He'll love it. Does anybody want to tell people the movie we're actually talking about?
Well, yeah, this is the
somebody-
new movie that's supposedly written by Kevin Williamson, the guy who wrote Scream.
Yeah, it's called
It's on
Sick.
Peacock. Called Sick.
Yeah, it's a COVID slasher.
It's a COVID movie.
Yeah,
Coven?
yeah, like Coven,
Yeah.
Coven.
So how did you feel about that? Was my first experience watching a COVID movie, and I was like, "This is a fucking pill. This is a bummer."
Now, was it filmed during COVID, or because it definitely feels like it was filmed after COVID?
Oh, I think it was filmed.
It
During
had
the
to be.
pandemic.
That movie's immediately dated into a very small pocket of our history, an incredibly small pocket.
But-
so, I mean, not to cut you guys off, but I'm super curious to see how this movie ages because it's already like kind of eye-rollingly passe.
Yeah,
You say you watched the first 15 minutes, right? So you watched
Yeah.
the part where the kid walks into the grocery store.
Yeah, and he's like, "There's no toilet paper."
And and then like people are fighting over like bath tissue and then there's like the overhead speaker talking about please stay 6 feet away.
dude.
Yeah.
That's what I'm saying. It was just a bummer. And I'm not even one of those guys where like, I'm an inside kid, so a pandemic didn't affect me too much. So like I wasn't all like depressed during the actual thing, but watching a movie about it, I'm like, who the fuck wants to watch anything about this? Like having to stand in line and like there's not toilet paper and people are like, put on your mask.
I think it really depends on where you live during COVID. Like if this obviously took place in like California or something where like
I don't think
everybody
it does. Because didn't they say that it's a different state at one point?
did they? Like I don't know. It's whatever.
can't
It's a
remember.
very like militant approach to COVID. Like where I live wasn't like that at all. Right? Like majority of like no one wore masks for a lot of it. Maybe for the first like week or two, but after that, a lot of people were maskless. So
I mean, I think that's what I thought was so interesting about this movie, I guess. The movie's not good because it's not a slasher. The movie, because it's Kevin Williamson and it's Scream, they try to make it seem like it's a slasher, but it's not. It's like a crazy family. Or, I mean, shit, hot dog. I mean, we're going to spoil it for you.
You're not spoiling it for me. You're spoiling it
Well,
from everyone
before-
that's listening to you.
before we get there, Yucky, people are talking about Fulci. Fulci's name does get dropped in the movie because they are watching CNN.
Yeah, at least
So
in
at
2
first-
scenes.
At first, I was like, "Is this?" Here's just a broad question: is it a pro, like a pro stance towards like mask and like the COVID approach, or is it like an anti-COVID kind of movie? Like, where do you fall in line there?
Well, we have to talk about the ending to get there.
Yeah,
'Cause
that
at first,
that's
the
the
whole
only
movie,
interesting thing about this movie.
I'm like rolling my eyes this whole movie because it's just like, it's just COVID rules. For most of the movie, it's COVID rules.
Put your mask on. 6 feet away. Where's
And
your
then-
mask?
And like, I guess what I found interesting is when the killers are revealed, like the movie was so heavy-handed that it should have been obvious that
It wasn't.
like the killers want to kill the main girl because their son died of COVID and they traced it back to her.
Yep.
Oh, whoa.
And at first, I'm like, that's
Past
that's-
her.
that's
They
not a
found
bad
who gave it to
motivation.
her. That was the first death in the movie.
And so that changed the movie because now it's a family they're over obsessive about this COVID thing, right?
Yes.
So that's what changed the movie. And you're like, okay, so now because
It's
okay,
about revenge.
there was scenes earlier in the movie where everybody got home from grocery shopping and they started cleaning the cereal boxes. And I'm like, did people really do that? Like
Yes.
People really clean. Yes, I definitely did that because I was scared.
really?
I had no clue what was happening, dude. I was prepared for anything in the beginning.
Yeah.
And I already saw this thing months coming, so I was like, I don't know what, because like everything I saw was definitely overhyping it for sure. Like I'll admit that 1,000,000%. But everything I saw was also scary as shit. So I didn't know what we were about to deal with. To me, I've seen enough movies to be terrified of the idea of a gnarly virus coming from China.
Romero movie or something,
Yeah.
Yeah,
or
so
a monster trucks type of film.
Yeah.
but the way Hot Dog is saying this film is a little too late, I agree with, because it it's a horror movie, so it's trying to be subversive, but it's also being safe. You know, like we're done with this. You know, we're kind of out of the scare, and now their movies being like, you people went pretty crazy there. It's like, okay, like
I don't think all right. So the weird part of this movie, which I think is the funniest part, and I think I think it's intentional, is the culmination to everything. The build up leads to the family like having the main girl tied up to a chair, and they give her a COVID test.
yeah.
That is the main point of the act. Is her they're getting the COVID test results being like, haha, you were positive. You did kill him. And I'm like, guys, that's hilarious. The COVID test is the high point of your plot. That's hilarious. I can't like it has to be tongue in cheek. There's no way no one took this movie seriously. I think they make fun of both sides for it. I don't think it's
I
not
mean,
a good movie, but
they get you right away with like, you know, when there's a scene where the girls stop the killer on the road, and a car drives up, and there's a woman, like the girl is bleeding and screaming. The lady clearly saw that she was fighting somebody, and then she's like, "Do you have a mask with you?"
yeah, that was hilarious.
I thought that was pretty funny. I saw that part in the trailer. I thought
Yeah.
it was pretty good.
It's just like I said. It's people think it's unintentionally funny. No, I think it's borders on satire.
It has to be,
does.
right?
Yes,
Because it
has
turns
to.
into a crazy family movie. And that's when I was like, oh shit, why is this movie now going to win me over the last 20 minutes? Because I love crazy families.
Yeah.
You know, the sweet old mom that is now driven
yeah.
to murder because whatever, revenge or just whatever the hell, you know. So she still retains some of her sweetness, but she's obviously Looney Tunes now.
Well, I mean, their other kid gets killed like pretty early on too, right? So it's
Yeah,
like, oh,
'cause you
now
don't
both
know
your kids
there's-
are dead.
Of course, in Kevin Williams style, there's two killers because you don't know it's a family, right?
Yeah, well, I mean that's the big reveal. I knew I sort of I kind of knew what was going to happen like in the first scene where that one kid's going through the grocery store, and they were doing. I'm like, I bet you like someone died because someone got COVID. That was my. I'm like, oh, this is the catch. This is what's going to happen. Sure enough, I didn't realize it was a whole family. That kind of surprised me, but everything else, like you knew it was coming. My question was whether or not it would be like the were you anti or pro the COVID policies during that time. I didn't know which way the movie was going to lean. At first I thought it was going to be like, oh, those damn anti-vaxxers, take that stance, but I was glad it would kind of bounce back and forth into that satire world.
Yeah, I mean, it's not a good movie.
No.
Because it doesn't. The reason it's not a good movie? Only two dudes die in it.
Can I give my take really quick?
Yeah,
please.
Monster trucks toys on eBay are fucking like $50, $70. What's going
Hot
on?
Dog doesn't give a shit about us talking
What
about
is
Sip.
what is
This
going
is
on
the
with
only
this
horror
fandom?
movie Hot Dog hasn't watched any dumb movie. He's like, you ever watch this lame movie? And I'm like, why would I? And he's like, I watch horror movies.
It does surprise me.
Yeah.
He's a big Scream fan. So
Kevin
I'm not a
Williamson wrote
big
this.
Scream fan.
What
I'm
is
a regular.
huge?
I'm a below regular Scream fan.
not as good as
So-
Monster Trucks.
I mean, I don't even think he
not
really
much is.
wrote. He might have come up with the motivation.
He did not write this movie, by the way.
Right?
There's no way, because like parts of it are very Williamson, but like everything else is not. So and if you look at it in the credits, it's actually has two writers. It's him and it's another chick I've never heard of before. Well, if you Google her name, she's like his executive assistant.
Whoa.
Put two and two together, and I'm like, wait a
State
minute.
executor or something.
His future Me Too.
Yeah, I was like, oh, we know what's going to happen now.
Shit. I'll let you make your COVID movie if you don't
You
tell
wanna
nobody.
make horror movies, baby.
She's probably sitting there. She's probably like, "Hey, what about this, Kevin? What if what if we made a slasher movie, but it was like about COVID? Okay, sweetheart, that's fine. That's basically how everything went. I'm pretty sure that's how that movie got made.
I mean, I do appreciate that some of these modern day horror movies are using like the SJW tropes and subverting them. You know, it
Bodies,
works
Bodies,
because you
one of the best
never
movies
know
ever.
whether the filmmakers are being serious until the shoe drops, right?
Yeah. I thought the same thing when Bodies. I was like, I don't know
Yeah.
Zoomer horror. I didn't realize that was like. I'm like, wait a minute. I think I actually like Zoomer horror because like was thoroughly and enjoyed like the whole point of that movie. Again the ending where you realize it just like it gets stupider and stupider and stupider, and then it hits you. You're like, this is all satire. It's great.
But something like Sick, it's like the modern day horror shit didn't save it because the girls were 100% safe and kicking ass and taking names.
Yeah, true.
And like you only see dudes get murdered. And I don't know, I've always said this, even back in the 70s with like the Driller Killer. When it's dudes getting murdered, I could not care less. I just couldn't. It doesn't strike me the same way as a horror movie. It's, it's just not scary. It's just
Also, I mean, this kind of tries to subvert everything, right? The main girl is a whore, that again, that's part of the plot line in Sick. It was the fact that she was a slut. The reason why another guy was there was he was trying to get with her, kind of to date her, and she's like, "No, you were just a thing. I want to fuck other guys." And you're just like, "Wait a minute, these are all subverting those expectations, which is what everybody is expecting in movies nowadays." And they did all of that, right?
she was another. What'd you think of that lead? She was another one of those.
Chubby,
adverting the male gaze.
chubby girl.
actresses.
Yeah,
It's like they don't want like because of Michael Bay Friday 13th, where everybody was plastic in California looking.
again, I think this is satire, or to a point of satire, because the first scene when she's introduced, she's in a bikini and she has a fucking belly pouch.
I do not think that's satire. I think that is them making, because they're playing it both ways. They're making their movie, but they're making it for the modern feminist horror fan. That way, you don't hurt the women. The women are strong. They're blah blah blah. But like all these horror movies now, they don't do the sexy final girl anymore.
Yeah,
Like
I
Janes.
just thought it was funny because first I was insulted. And I'm like, well, she's not attractive at all, so obviously she's going to die. And then you get introduced to the black friend, right? And you're like, oh, well, maybe she's the final girl. And then you're like, well, wait a minute, you can't. I mean, they're both, minorities or whatever. They're both are going to live. So, and they both live. So.
I swear, I think if they cast another attractive girl, that's when they're going to be like, you just enjoy seeing girls get murdered.
And then you put the meme. Yes.
In a certain context, yes.
Yes. It is a horror movie. I do like everybody getting murdered, but that's just me.
I mean, that's the point. Isn't that the thing, is that we're supposed to have like this subconscious reaction to a female in danger? We instinctively care more. You don't care when it's just like a dude getting throttled. It's just like, fight back, you pussy. Like
Jim Tuner also not caring about our COVID conversation. Puppet Master movie for 2023. Question is, will they actually give it a budget this time? I'm going to go with no.
But isn't the Dr. Death the new one, or did that one come out last year?
Oh, yeah. I don't know. That might already be out. I'm not sure.
I haven't been following them.
I don't know.
I mean, am I down for another Puppet Master
bad.
movie? Not really.
I don't
nobody
even.
is.
They're not even fun to laugh at anymore. You're like, these used to be good when I was a child.
They look like the same budget as all those Amityville movies.
What, $5 and a
Yeah.
pack of Coke?
What's the last
Yeah.
Amityville movie you watched?
Like the Amityville
Amityville
clown
Amityville
and the
Bigfoot or
Amityville
whatever.
booger and the yeah.
You know what? I will allow them to do another Puppet Master movie if we get another Killer Bong movie. How about that?
There will be one anyway, and that doesn't.
Yeah, I
matter
know.
what
So
you
it's going to
want.
happen anyway.
So
bring it.
so Jim Tuner said Dr. Death was 2022. It came out already, and it's on Tubi. If you guys want to suffer,
Oh, it's already on
I
Tubi?
guess.
That's
Nice.
Yucky's favorite thing.
I love Tubi.
I will say the Blade movie wasn't too bad.
Really.
So I've been. I don't think the last one I watched was what, Axis Allies or whatever. Which one was that?
Right.
Axis v Allies, Dawn
There's
of
too
Justice.
many of those, dude. I swear to God, there's like 6 movies where they.
That's probably
fight the
10 years
Nazis.
old by now.
Why don't they just try? And I don't mean that
Right.
in like such a GG easy mode. I mean like, why don't they go, we're going to make a banging fucking script. We're going to throw some actual money into it. We're going to try to make a real movie for a second.
I thought that's what the Puppet Master remake was going to be when everyone's
that
like,
wasn't
it's
them,
written
though.
by the dude that wrote Bone Tomahawk. You
That's
know?
Craig Zoller.
And you're like, dude, it's written by the dude that wrote Bone Tomahawk. And you watch it and you're like, that's what you did? Like, that's your idea
I
of
liked it.
like,
I enjoyed
it was a horrible idea.
I thought
Charles
it was
Band's
fun.
a idiot.
Ridiculous.
Wow. Such strong words, Gable.
He's an idiot.
All the band heads are losing it. There's a civil war between the band heads and the monster truck heads.
Sorry, I lashed out.
Chat.
Sorry.
S. Craig Zoller, by the way, had a hell of a run, just making like banger after banger. He hasn't been anywhere in years, and I wonder what happened to him, because I thought he was just incredible, just an incredible new voice of horror. And I don't know if maybe
Yeah, but didn't everybody think he was like, because he's another one of those guys I think that like plays it pretty evenly when it comes to the politics in his movies. And because of that, I mean, didn't they think selling what was that called? Brawl in Cell Block?
Brawl in Cell Block 99.
Didn't people think that was like pro-white nationalist or whatever?
I don't know, but I
Oh,
know
did he get
Dragged Across
canceled for it?
Concrete. Well, so I know part of the story is S. Craig Zoller was tied to Cinestate, who it was such a bummer that they, whatever happened, because I thought they were putting out some of the most interesting shit in horror in a while. And Cinestate was this guy, Dallas something, who also ended up buying Fangoria and was running it. And then one movie had some improprieties on set, and basically this Dallas guy seemingly got chased out of horror, from what I remember. I could be totally wrong, but that's what I remember. So I don't know if S. Craig went with him, but I feel like it's kind of crazy if nobody's financing whatever this guy wants to do just because he's more than proven himself as someone who can make some really interesting stuff.
Hot Dog will give his monster truck money to him. That's what he's saying.
Come on, let's relax a little bit over there. But I mean, Bone Tomahawk, Brawl in Cell Block 99, fantastic movies. And then Dragged Across Concrete was also great as
Yeah, it
well.
was okay. Yeah.
But those two, I think, are just so strong, you know. I just felt like he knew what he was doing. I haven't felt like we got somebody like that in a long time, especially in B-budget stuff, you know.
Yeah.
They were probably just like, so what do you want to do? A Fantastic Four? You want to do an Ant-Man?
Yeah.
How do you feel about ants, kid?
We got the
Did you
perfect
guys-
movie for you.
You guys hype for MODOK?
I don't even think that's MODOK. I think you're right. I think it's going to be just a weird version of
It's gonna be
what's
that
his name?
Yellow Wasp guy.
Yeah, the
Alex
No,
Cross.
Yellow Jacket. Sorry,
Yellow Jacket.
Yeah,
Yeah, I think they're gonna screw
it's
that.
gonna be it's Yellow Jacket because they remember there was a dialogue in the movie that was like, if you have to have a helmet if you go into the quantum realm or whatever, or something happens. Remember his helmet got cracked. So
I thought he exploded into goo.
I don't know, but I bet you there's gonna be some weird shenanigans with that.
Yeah, when did any of this happen?
Was that the
In the first Ant-Man.
second one? First one?
No,
yeah,
he
first
he's in
one.
the first one.
Yeah.
No.
Yellow Jacket's first guy.
Yeah. Fucking stupid Marvel movie.
I don't know. Am I the only person who doesn't care about Ant-Man?
That's the only
How-
series I liked besides Guardians.
Really?
Of Marvel
Okay.
of Marvel movies, yeah. I don't
Really?
really. Yeah, I don't give a shit about Iron Man. Captain America's fine. I like Captain America the hero more than his movies. What else is there? I don't know. I don't like most of it. I don't give
like
a
the
shit
Black
about the Black
Panthers. You don't like
They're-
the
they're-
Shang-Chi.
They're okay. The Shang-Chi was. I mean, they're all such a bar of okay that to me the
Yeah,
only one
dude.
that barely goes over that bar have been the Ant-Mans and Guardians.
I enjoyed
And
the
Guardians 1 I thought was great.
I thought Ant-Man
two
was
falls short for
boring.
me. See, I liked it. I love the fight sequences. The whole use of, at least in the first one. The second one, see, what's cool at the first one is I thought it really played well with the size thing, and 2 doesn't for some reason. 1 has them fighting in the dioramas and shit. I like when little things fight in little areas. I'm playing this game right now called Grounded, where it's basically Honey, I Shrunk the Kids, and you make a base out of grass and shit, and you fight bugs, and I love that. So Ant-Man is totally like a dream come true for me, seeing that something like that in a superhero movie. Then 2 just doesn't really do that.
That's fair. Also, Evangeline Lilly's pretty hot.
I mean, I guess I'm interested. Like, I don't know much about Kang the Conqueror. I can't say he's a popular villain, but I mean, he's an old villain.
He's an interesting choice, I guess.
Marvel a lot, so
yeah.
You know what's very interesting? You know how that one, I don't know, the actor from Eternals, who had that article where he's like, Hollywood isn't casting people of color as villains.
Oh, not Kumail Nanjiani.
Yeah.
Who was
And
doing
then
Real
we have
white.
this black guy as Kang. It's like, so is this guy really just kind of completely just no one wants to cast him?
Well, that's usually what it's about, right?
I think
He
so,
also
right?
wouldn't be a good villain anyway.
Right?
Yeah.
He's like kind of a comedic actor.
Yeah, he's just kind of a nice guy.
Yeah, I don't know. I thought that article
He's got a
was
big
funny.
Minecraft chin now. He looks like shit.
Rip.
It just came out at a funny time where it's like, what are you talking about? There's plenty of black villains. I mean, not
Quick question before we end the show soon.
Oh.
Are you guys for or against?
Against.
Ooh, against small soldiers? That's a ballsy take.
Oh, no. Joe Dante's best movie.
Oh, I'm
Think so?
against.
Is that one of those Gable not takes, or is that a real?
No,
take?
that's a real take. That's a real take.
You think that's his best movie?
I thoroughly enjoyed that movie when I was a kid.
I adored
Really?
that movie. I still
Yeah,
do. I
that
think it's
movie.
fantastic. What? Why?
Even as a kid, I saw through that bullshit of like
Let's start through what?
the monsters are the good guys and the evil guys are the human.
Dude, that's sick because the monsters are the
military dudes.
coolest looking guys.
No, they're not.
That's
They
a
look
W.
like cat people too. It's like Avatar. It's like a prequel to Avatar.
I don't fucking like you.
It's Avatar
Cat
but better.
people.
Maybe you shouldn't watch Monster Trucks. Maybe you should never, because that just means
Might
more
sully
for me.
the good name.
Yeah.
It
We don't
sounds
need a
ridiculous.
person like you in the Monster Trucks community.
Yeah, just,
The movie's not for
You're
you.
getting gate kept before you even watch the movie.
Yeah,
it's just
dude,
like
you're
hippie
outta
dippy
here.
messaging where it's like monsters are our friends
Why can't monsters be our friends, Yuck?
because they're monsters.
So some monsters are okay. Like
I don't think that's true at all. Who says
Gamera.
that? Monsters.
Saddam Hussein said it in his speech.
You always got to watch for this messaging. You know, the whole
I don't wanna
monsters are the
do
good
that.
guys. That's bullshit.
He just wants to see little action figures attack other action figures. That's what we watched it for.
Yeah, that's why we watched it. That's what we liked about it. It's kind of weird though when you're a kid growing up. Every movie is like that could be me. I could have friends that are toys. And then you get older, and it's like it's never me. Toys will
Then-
never be my friend.
I think we're finding out a lot about hot dog tonight.
And then Yucky
boy.
watched Indian in the Cupboard. And he was like, "Fuck that crap."
Yeah, I'm
I
like,
hate
the
these.
fuck?
I wish our nation would
wouldn't
have
make
got
an
rid of
Indian.
more of them. We should have killed
watching
more of those
the-
buffalo.
Unrated Guyver movie at the age of 9.
I
Like
thought you were gonna say unrated Indian in the cupboard. I was like,
I skipped
Jesus.
past the
I don't think I watched that one either.
young adult movie.
Are you guys for or against Indian in the cupboard? Now, Yucky, we know your take, anti-Indian, so also fuck the cupboard. Gable, how do you feel?
I love Indians.
Cupboards?
Not so much.
Yikes!
Hot take.
I mean, I
Big
just saw through the
yikes.
messaging of the
Wait, I'm Indian in
noble
the fucking
savage.
cupboard.
Yeah, the noble savage, the whole idea that like not every race is like equally warlike and Indian in the cupboard. Sure,
Oh
I guess.
Lord!
Wasn't that was it Luke Wilson, the cowboy in that movie?
I think you're
Was he?
thinking of a different cupboard,
Oh, shit.
and that cupboard was a museum.
Didn't they make a version or maybe a short film in the 80s? Am I wrong?
Called Indian in the cupboard.
Yeah,
think so.
I know
Maybe.
they did a like Gable just said there was a bigger movie made in the I don't know mid to late 90s.
Yeah,
but-
95.
But didn't they do? Wasn't there like maybe a short
You
film
could
or a
be
TV
right.
special?
You
It
would
was.
think
I mean,
so.
it was a book. I mean, we read
Maybe
the book
I'm-
in like grade school.
I could be
Dude,
thinking about one of
I
these other,
read-
like Mouse on a Motorcycle things. Or
I
whatever.
read all the books.
Really? There's more than one.
Yeah, there's a whole mythology. I'm not even joking. There's a whole mythology to Indian in the Cupboard, and I don't know
that's our
why I
next
was
show,
obsessed
guys.
with it.
That's our next show.
The Indian in the Cupboard special.
Yeah,
Yeah.
we're gonna have to audio book
Dude.
it over the.
I
next
don't
week.
think you guys are prepared for how many people will tune in for that one.
I mean,
Maybe.
it's definitely
Maybe
an
you
audience
can-
bringer.
It better be good.
I'm
I'll
glad
be
I
mad if
name
it's
dropped
not.
Indy in the Cupboard.
I may not have read the last one, the
shit,
Key to
that
the
time.
Indian.
You're not
I
a
don't
hardcore
wanna
fan.
know.
You're not
But
a
I
real fan.
feel like I might have.
There is
I
some
don't remember that
crazy. I don't know. Would you call it? There's some DC news, and all it is that sometime before the end of January, James Gunn is gonna be announcing their DC plans, and I don't know, maybe some casting. I'm not sure if there's gonna be any casting, but like people are dogging him on Twitter, like being like there's
be
only
Michael
like 10
Rooker,
days or
Ariel.
whatever.
Oh, that's pretty funny though. Saying Michael Rooker is going to be in it.
Yeah.
Well,
That's
you know
great.
he's going to be.
Yeah,
It's just
but at
who's he
least
gonna
at least
be?
Michael Rooker is pretty great.
Can Michael Rooker be Lex Luthor?
Ugh.
We have to
I
be
mean-
prepared for this.
I'm pretty okay with Michael Rooker as anything. I'm a
Yeah,
I'm a
so
Rooker
I,
head,
I'm not.
dude.
I'm not
I-
against that.
Yeah,
Right.
I do like Michael Rooker.
I
I think I would be more displeased about the things like Sean Gunn. I wouldn't care for.
He'd just be a bit part though.
Yeah,
fuck
but I
Sean
still
Gunn, dude.
just would rather not see him
Yeah, I am sick
anymore in
of
my
him.
life than I have.
More
Like, I
already.
saw him in the
Bautista.
Christmas special of Guardians of the Galaxy, and
Yeah.
I'm just sick of that dude.
Yeah. Batista's fine. I mean, we do know that Jason Momoa signed something with DC. You guys saw that? He had a big celebratory video where he's like flipping out at the office. I think James Gunn might have retweeted it or something yesterday. I actually meant to send it to you guys, but then I was like, they probably already saw this shit.
I'm almost positive the Superman movie is going to be Superman versus Lobo.
I'm okay with it.
I'm
You know
okay
who's playing
with it.
Superman?
It's pretty much what the
Don't need an origin story, so please.
Magic Jordan.
like that was the last animated Superman. Well, no, I'm sorry, that wasn't the last. But out of the new DC animated things, that was like the first one, a cartoon called Superman Man of Tomorrow, and it was Superman versus Lobo. So they usually follow suit with like whenever they think Superman has one good story. In the 90s, it was the death and return of Superman. Now it's Superman versus Lobo.
I would really like to hope that we as a society got the death and return of Superman out of our system with Batman v Superman.
Dude, you are telling me sick of it. I don't want to hear shit about a black costume. I don't want to hear shit about Doomsday. Sick of it.
I don't even like the idea of a Kryptonian coma or whatever that was.
Yeah,
That's stupid.
That's basically what it is.
I know, but I
Kryptonian
didn't.
coma.
I thought that was dumb. It just the whole thing feels like a cop out once it's revealed that Superman is actually just asleep. Like Doomsday just punched him to bedtime. I get it. Like nobody wants Superman to die.
He was healing
But,
his
like,
body, man.
Yeah, it's all stupid. It's dumb.
Yeah, because in the comics, I think he would have died, but the Eradicator, who was drawing off of the residual solar energy, put Superman in a Kryptonian, I don't know, some
He
sort
had
of
the
a
robot coffin thing, right? Didn't he?
I don't know. In the comics,
Isn't that
it
what
was
tears
more
up the
like
town? No, I'm talking in the comics too. Isn't that what tears up the town? Is there's this like weird Kryptonian robot thing that looks like a Kryptonian Edge
That's-
209 or
That's
something?
after he wakes up from the whatever you want to call it, the chamber, the healing
The
Kryptonian
chamber,
chamber.
the Kryptonian chamber.
He
of
doesn't have
secrets.
any of his powers, and that's
Yeah,
why he's
'cause he's
wearing
weak,
the black suit and he's in that Kryptonian armor battle suit thing. So that was like a battle suit because he didn't have powers at the time.
I just vaguely remember it. I can't even remember last time I read it. You know,
And that's really what a lot of Tim Burton's version of Superman, whatever, the death of Superman or whatever, that's what it was pretty much going to be about. It was going to be about, I mean, they were going to make the battle armor almost like a character that traveled with Superman ever since he was a kid.
dude,
just
and
to
it
give
cracks
more-
wise. What do you think
Wisecracker.
about that, huh?
It's
Like a
John
funny robot
John
sidekick?
Leguizamo.
Yeah, fresh off the clown bullshit from Spawn. Dude, you're selling me on this, Yucky. Superman.
mean-
I would love to have been a producer in the 90s because I would have done that shit just to ruin everyone. I'd be like, we're making an X-Men movie, but Wolverine has to shoot his claws. I don't know. It just sounds cool.
Shoot his claws.
I always thought that would be really funny if we're all hyped to see X-Men and then you see Wolverine shooting his claws out of his fists.
I said the X-Men comic nowadays is really bad, so maybe you should pitch that to them.
Yeah, doesn't he just have hot claws now? I fucking hate that.
I guess so.
Like, they don't need more powers. That's the weirdest thing to me. How about you just give that power to a different guy, like a new person?
Fucking hot claws.
You know? Isn't that that's what he got, right? They like heat up.
I think when he came back from hell or something.
Oh, so stupid. I just typed in hot claws into Google and Wolverine comes up in a fucking IGN article. Fuck me, dude.
Oh my god.
See Jim Tooner on casting and Wolverine played by Gary Busey. 100%.
Oh, it would have been Tom Arnold. It would have been right after True
Well,
Lies.
one of them has to be Professor X, so that's fine. That works. It's a win-win. Yeah, I would have absolutely any adaptation. If I'm reborn, I hope I'm reborn as a Hollywood producer because you guys will fucking learn to hate me.
That's too much, man.
That'd be great.
Yeah, right. Is that it? Is that all we have?
That's it. We did a good job. We went for an hour 45, hour 46 right now. It's a good show length, I think, guys.
That's all right.
It's
We
always
had
a good
fun.
one.
We talked about topical things like the Hellraiser movie and Alien Gonzalez. You know, hot
Very
claws.
topical.
Yeah, we have been on the ball this evening, and I have no sounds. I don't know. We're gonna have to run some tests at some point. I think it's a Windows issue. So
Close it.
it's been a great show. I am one of your hosts, Full Custom Hot Dog. You can find me on Twitter. It's Full Custom Hot Dog without the last O because that's just too long for Twitter.
I'm Yucky. You can find me on Twitter at Yucky Gum Comics.
And I'm Gable. You can find me on Twitter at Pennyshot.
So thank you all for watching, and until next time.
The first European to step foot on Lizard Island was Captain James Cook. He'd come ashore with his crew to climb the island's highest point in hopes of spotting a passage out of the shallow waters of the Great Barrier. Escape of a different sort. First off, let's go fishing.